Hey, what's up everybody? This is Flux with fluxwithit.com, and today we're going to check out something a little bit more personal, a little bit more nerdy, and super useful at the same time. So here what I've got is a bunch of wires covering up my Beatstep Pro here. The reason why is because I've set up a drum patch, and the idea behind having the Beatstep Pro was really that I wanted to use it as a primary live drum machine using modular. And I've got some great drum modules here. I've got, you know, the organ accumulator. I got two of those. I've got the amazing audio damage neuron. And what I found is that I wanted to do a live performance set. I like to finger drum. So if you've seen any of my machine videos, you see how I finger drum one there. But what I found myself noticing is that with the Beatstep Pro, if I want to do a hi-hat open and closed, I'm kind of limited to having to either use two modules or do some really creative things. And the reason is because if I lay out my pads, kick, snare, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, the problem would be that I need a gate out for each pad, okay? Now, if I have two hi-hat modules, that's not a problem at all. But if I'm using one module, such as in this case, I'm using the neuron because it sounds wonderful as a hi-hat, what I want to do is I want to send a trigger with 3, but I also want to send a trigger and I want to open an envelope with 4. But I don't want 3 to send a trigger and open an envelope. This is where logic comes in. Now, the only way that you can do that is to use an exclusive OR. So in this instance, what I'm using is the Animodule triple exclusive OR. And the benefit of it being a triple exclusive OR is that each exclusive OR is normaled to the next. So what my patching setup is for the open hi-hat, I send out of my gate 4, it comes into the first channel of the triple exclusive OR, into channel A of the first channel, and then below that into channel B of the second triple exclusive OR's channel, I am sending the closed hi-hat. Now, for each channel on the triple exclusive OR, you have two outputs, an analog and a gate, both of which will work as a gate, but I'm using 3 outputs on here. So the first output, the analog out, comes over and it goes into an envelope over here, and I'm just using that for basically the accent to make the hi-hat, the open hi-hat, a little bit louder than the closed hi-hat. So that goes over to an envelope over here, and then that goes into the accent. The gate output is going into another envelope, which I am using that to head straight over into the envelope of the decay envelope of the neuron. So what that's doing is, as I strike pad 4, I'm opening the decay, and I'm also striking the accent, and then that is all normaled to the second channel of the exclusive OR, which is sending a gate output into the trigger of the neuron, which is triggering the hi-hat sound. Coming out from pad 3 here, which is just the closed hi-hat, I'm going into the second channel of the exclusive OR, B input. And what that's allowing me to do is strike just the trigger without striking any of the envelopes. It's not backfeeding in any way. So this way, when I strike my closed hi-hat, I get just the closed hi-hat. When I strike the open hi-hat, I get all the enveloping and everything that I need without it backfeeding. So closed hi-hat, open hi-hat. This allows me to do live performance finger drumming. If I was sequencing, this wouldn't really be a problem because I could just have my hi-hats on every piece, and then they would also trigger my open hi-hat, but because I want this to be a live performance where I'm actually physically performing it, you know, you only have so many fingers and my hands are going to be busy doing other things, so I don't want to have to strike both pads at the same time every time, because you know, that just gets sloppy. So this way I can... And this way I can actually use my Beatstep Pro without having to have two different hi-hat modules that, you know, are going to maybe sound different, or run into a situation where, you know, I'm constantly, when I want to trigger my open, it's backfeeding, and or when I want to trigger my closed, it's backfeeding and hitting the envelope or anything like that. The triple exclusive OR allows you to do this, you know, pseudo complex patch really easily. And you can also use this for doing choke groups and things of that sort. So I just wanted to quickly show you a very useful module that might be considered a boring Logic module, but is extremely useful. This is Flux of fluxwithit.com. Peace.